ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा श्रीगणेशाय नमः। ॐ गङ्गणपते नमः। ॐ गङ्गणपते नमः। ॐ गङ्गणपते नमः। ॐ गङ्गणपते नमः। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। सर्वमङ्गलमाङ्गल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यम्बके गौरी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु महालक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनान् मृत्योर्मुक्ष्यमामृतात्। ॐ नमः शिवाय 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 नमः शिवाय। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं कमले कमलाले प्रसीद प्रसीद। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं श्री महालक्ष्मे नमः। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं कमले कमलाले कमलाले प्रसीद प्रसीद। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं श्री महालक्ष्मे नमः। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं कमले कमलाले प्रसीद प्रसीद। ॐ श्रीं ह्रीं श्रीं श्री महालक्ष्मे नमः। ओम श्री स्वामीनारायणाय नमः। ओम श्री लक्ष्मीनारायणाय नमः। ओम श्री कृष्णनारायणाय नमः। ओम श्री वासुदेव नारायणाय नमः। ओम श्री रामनारायणाय नमः। ओम श्री बद्रीनारायणाय नमः। ओम नमः शिवाय। ओम श्री हनुमते नमः। Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 2nd of January 2022. First of all, I'd like to offer my Dandavat Pranam to all the great sages, past, present, future, and to the Supreme Lord present in the heart of each being. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam rudde shrirjuna tishtati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantrarudani mayaya. With that prarthana, we're continuing our contemplation on the Atma. And yesterday we started talking about the Antakarana, because this is one of the most important things to understand in Vedantic understanding about the ego and ahankar. There has been a question raised by one of you from online, and so I'll put the question here, and then we'll talk about that today. I'll also be responding to any questions, any contemplations through additional, more detailed recordings. So if you have something specific that you want to know more about, specifically just send me a voice memo or send me an email or a text or whatever, and I will look into it further and create a specialized talk on that, or a voice memo on that, or actually I'll just create a recording on that, and then that'll become easy for everyone to understand. But today, for now, there has been a question raised regarding the interesting question: does God punish those who are doing wrong, who are hurting others, who are doing paap karma, jisko paap karma kehte hai, unko kya hota hai? How does that work exactly? So to answer this question, first we have to be very clear about what is called karma ka siddhant. Karma ka siddhant kya hai? That karma, first of all, the word karma means action, but the action is of three types. Action is physical action, verbal action, mental action. Man, karma, vachan. How we talked about the ahankar yesterday, right? That is also a type of action. The whole antakarana is active. We'll get back into that probably tomorrow. But today I'd like to talk about this a little bit because somebody has raised this question. So action is of three types: man, karma, vachan. That action we perform can be sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. So in all three, so there's three. And then there's the mixture. So sattva gun can have a mixture of rajogun, tamogun, like that also. So it can be mixed, but it is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic, that action. Now, when we perform action, that is the jivatma, through the oneness with the antakarana, through the causal body, that it is performing action. So for example, Sachin gets upset with somebody. He gets, I feel anger inside, I get upset, and I speak a nasty word. God forbid, right? But if something like that happens, now look at what happens here. This is called karma. That is karma performed through the me, the ahankar. you said this to me, so I'm saying this to you. You did this to me, I'm doing this to you. Or I have my desires, they're not fulfilled because of you, I'm going to do something to you. All these lawsuits that go on and all the different fights that go on, and everything is due to the ahankar. So when the jiva performs action through the ahankar, aham jivam, that I am performing this action, it accumulates the reaction of the karma. And that accumulation is in the sukshma sharir and then gets further solidified in the causal body, karana sharir. So for example, if Sachin gets angry towards a particular person, the sanskara is there in our brain, in our mind. So there's the neurology, the psychology, which is understandable to some extent at least. But beyond that, there is this impression in the antakarana. It goes into the antakarana and it stays in the antakarana as a recorded recorded activity, but it's a recorded vibration. That's also true. It is a sakam karma. It is a karma done with the me. So it is solidified inside the antakarana. And then eventually, as more solidification occurs, it gets solidified in the causal body. That's how the causal body keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. Now, the question was about, does God punish those who are doing wrong, doing harmful things? So remember, there's three things to keep in mind: pap, punya, and the state beyond pap and punya. Punya means what? Good action. We do good action for others. Let's say Sachin, rather than becoming angry towards somebody, has become compassionate, good feeling, good words. Maybe did some good things for people. This is punya karma. And pap karma, and it's not dichotomous, it's all mixed together. It's on a continuum, obviously. But the pap karma is that which is going to create negative reaction, and the jivatma has to experience that negativity. Now, how does that happen? Now remember what we said before, that the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karan, are experienced by the jivatma, and within the atma tattva, within the atma, inside the atma, as the essence of the atma is Parabrahma Paramatma. And that is the witness of all witnesses. We can say that the Atma is a witnessing consciousness, but if you go further beyond Advaita Vedanta, there is the witnessing Paramatma residing inside the Atma. वो जो स्वरूप है परमात्मा का, that is called Antaryami Swarup. It is called Sakshi Swarup. It is, and then there's also three. The third way to think about it is Karma Phal Pradata. So there are multiple descriptions of that tattva that is within the Atma, and that is God. So वो जो तत्व है, वो परब्रह्म तत्व है, वो क्या करते हैं? That parabrahma tattva is like a super duper computer. It knows everything. It keeps track of everything. Every karma performed by the jivatma, it has every single thing it sees, it keeps track of, and it gives the jivatma the fruit of the action. Karma phal pradata. ये बहुत बड़ी इंपॉर्टेंट बात है समझने के लिए. सो भगवान किसी के पक्ष में नहीं है. ऐसे भगवान हम जो कर्म करते उसका फल देते हैं, ठीक है. So if somebody is going to create negative thinking for others, harm others, which happens all the time in the sansar, that person has to experience now or in next life, or at some point they will experience the impact of that. This is why we do the Devi mantras, to cut these karmas out of the water. ये जो मंत्र है ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विचे, it will blow away all these mantras, all these sanskars, not the mantras. It will blow away all the sanskars, negative, positive. It will blow everything away. इसीलिए we have said again and again नमः शिवाय मंत्र और ओम ऐं ह्रीं क्लीं चामुंडाय विचे, ये मंत्र करने से और भगवान की भक्ति करने से इसका सब इफेक्ट जीरो पर आ जाता है. Otherwise, there's a lot of trouble. The trouble is almost unending. You see people suffering in this world. Animals killing each other, people killing each other, poverty and one person dominating another, horrible things, slavery and all. ये सब क्या है? It is the result of karma in the broader sense. Now, again, I have written actually a research article on this called The Law of Karma in Social Work and Social Work Considerations and the Misinterpretation of the Law of Karma in the Indian tradition. There's a whole research article written on this. Many years in 1994, I had written a research on this subject. And it's published in the International Journal of Social Work. Because this law of karma has been used to suppress people. That, you're poor, you're a illiterate person, you remain there because that is your karma from past life. This has been used in India a lot. It has been used as an oppression by more powerful individuals to make sure that the lower caste people never come up and that they are trapped continuously. In these Western countries, it is like that also. In a different way, the same thing is done. It's called Glasser's social control theory in sociology. So law of karma idea is a metaphysical truth. It is not to be used to suppress people and to harm people and to tell them that this is your bad karma, that's why you're born in this poor place, that's why you're crippled, that's why you're this, you're that, and you deserve that punishment. That was used quite a bit for thousands of years in India. It's still being used today even also. It's not anything new. That these people are there, that's their karma, they have to suffer that, and we are above them. As soon as you have that thought is a karma also. And then so now you're thinking that you'll wind up in that situation yourself. We start blaming the poor, the hungry, the illiterate. We start blaming those people and hurting them and all that. We will suffer that ourselves. It is a massive problem. ये जो कर्म का problem है, it is a very serious problem. और भगवान का अस्तित्व ऐसा है, वो कर्म का फल देते, आप हम जैसे जैसे विचार करेंगे वैसा फल मिलता है. So yes, is it true that if somebody harms somebody else and does terrible things, is there an effect? We can use the word punishment. I don't like to use that word too much, but that word is used more in some of the Western religious traditions. हमारे में ऐसा बहुत शब्द नहीं है. The word is more like karma ka phal bhagwan dete, and there's in the Sanatana Dharma, even jisko jo narkalok kehte hai, narkalok, that is not eternal. It is there until the karmic effect is gone, and then eventually the person gets back into another life form. That's a different subject. But the point is that is there an effect of what we do? Yes. In our life, we have an opportunity right now to bring these karmas to zero. Paap bhi nahi chahiye and punya bhi nahi chahiye. Both are trouble. Both are trouble because of this reason. Well, somebody will say, why punya is trouble? Shinya punya mritte loke vishanti. Punya ka kya meaning hai? We do good things, but it is done through sattva gun, sattvic ahankar. Good things are done. It is not done with nirgun bhav. Nirgun bhav se karma karenge, one will break out of the 14 lokas and go into moksha. If that is what Vivek Chudamani is all about, Brahma Vidya. Baki paap punya ka cycle chalta hi hai. It just goes on, And so when we do punya, that is shubh, and paap is ashubh. Bhagavad Gita mein Bhagwan kya kehte? Shubha shubha parityagi. शुभ का भी त्याग करो और अशुभ का भी त्याग करो from inside. और मैं ब्रह्म हूं, मैं दिव्य हूं, मैं आनंद स्वरूप हूं, ये वृत्ति को धारण कीजिए. Then one gets out of this massive trouble. Otherwise the trouble is unending, It is unending. ये कर्म का जो प्रॉब्लम है, it is an endless problem. That is why the rishis like Shankaracharya ji and Bhagwan Sri Krishna and all the great sages that have come in the whole tradition, they have come to bring the Jivatma out of this horrific cycle of this pap and karma, pap and punya, pap and punya, pap and punya cycle, and to bring the Jivatma out into the liberated mukta state. So is it true that a person is going to suffer the action of their karma? Yes. Is it true the person is going to enjoy the results of their karma? Yes. Enjoying and suffering. Both are there. But that enjoying is through the three gunas of Maya. Suffering is through the three gunas of Maya. That is called Sukh, Dukh, Dvand. Dvand of Sukh and Dukh. Sukh, Dukh ka dvand hai ye hamare जीवन में, in the life of most people. But Dvandatitam Gagana Sadrusham. Dvandatit means the rising above the dualities. That rising above the duality is where our mental vritti has crossed from Vishuddhi Chakra into Agnya Chakra. That is a rising above the duality. You know, in our day-to-day life, our mind is nothing but dualities. The sansar is nothing but duality. That is why to sit for dhyan, for meditation, for Vedantic contemplation, or seva karni and all these things, what does that do? It will bring the mind very sattvic, shuddha, sattvamaya. Yes, it will bring to that point. But the rising above this, wo ek alag baat hai. Rising above it is where Jnana and Vairagya are held completely. तो ज्ञान क्या है? ज्ञान ये बात है कि आत्मा is beyond all karma. वो अकर्ता है. It's not doing anything. It is doing, but it's not. The mind and the senses are doing. So, one more point here. When somebody has done something, quote, wrong to us, harmful, damaging, it has happened in the lives of so many people, saints included, everybody, right? It may have happened in our lives also. If it has happened like that, what should we do? We have to be very careful here. We have to take the right steps to resolve the situation and let them go their way and not be attached to them. If we start holding negative thinking towards those people, we have karmic attachment towards those individuals. Then that builds even more karma. We are entangled with those people that have done these negative things. Entanglement is also on the positive side. People have done lots of good things for us. We have done lots of good things for them. Acha hai, it is shubh. It is shubham. Shubh hona hi chahiye. That is a very good thing. Isme koi issue hi nahi, obviously. It has to be there. But that shubh vritti is also binding. And we know this, right? Don't we say, these are my close friends? But these other people, we have some relationship. This is how we work in the world. Some people are very close to us. Some people are not close to us. Some people are distant. We have kept them away. I said, Bhagwan ki krupa se dur rehna. You know, like this. This happens like this. This is how human beings think. This is practically, we may have to do certain things like that, obviously. But that closeness and that sense that this group of people I'm with, you know, what is that? That is shubha. There is a certain range of interaction there. But in reality, nobody is ours and everybody is ours. The moment we put a boundary around, we are inside the Maya. Maya का दूसरा नाम ही है boundary. And functionally in the world, we have to maintain boundaries. That's the other, because we're living within the world of Maya in that sense. We have family, we have certain groups of people, we're close to certain people. That's all there, that's natural. But internally, when we hold Brahma Vidya, all the boundary goes away. Nobody is ours and everybody is ours. Even if I say only human beings are ours, that's a boundary. Even if I say the Milky Way galaxy, this is my galaxy. There's a may or mera aa gaya wahan. There might. When you put a boundary of any kind, there is Maya. The moment boundary disappears, Mahamaya merges into the infinite Akshara Brahma. That is the basic transition. So internally, to evolve out of the mental boundaries. Now you will see what happens psychologically in this. When there are arguments with people, negative things going on, even positive things going on, all of those people are living inside our mind. Isn't it so? I have experienced this myself over so many years. We see it. We see those people in the dreams. We think about them. Our mind thinks about the content of what is within the psychological boundary. That's what it thinks about. It thinks about this again and again. Sankalpa vikalpa. Man ka kya ahar hai? Sankalpa vikalpa. Sankalpa vikalp. It keeps playing around with that content, and the Jivatma is an actor in that content also, and is rolling around in there. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. That content that has been accumulated, that continues to get accumulated, is all part of the karma. It is the sanchit karma. See, the karma is divided into three ways: sanchit karma, prarabdha karma, kriyaman karma. So sanchit karma is the accumulated karma. Kriyaman karma is the one that we are doing right now, in the present. That is called kriyaman. And the third is prarabdha karma, from past lives. That is in the causal body. All that stuff is stashed over there inside the causal body. So when we perform action now, see, the power of now, when we perform action now, by leaving aside shubh and ashubh, shubha ashubha parityagi. Parityag, भगवान क्या कहते हैं गीता में? इसको परित्याग कर देना. Parityag, how is this applicable? We do good sattvic, good quality activity, but the impact of the me, that I am performing this activity, that is not there. इसको त्याग कर देना. तो त्याग कैसे होता है? How does it come? It happens by upasana. भगवान की उपासना में क्या होता है? मैं भगवान का हूं. I belong to God. And that's it. I don't belong to anybody else. ये जो बात है, भगवान और जो बड़े संत है जिसमें परमात्मा है, and even be careful with the gurus and all that. There are lots and lots more. There are more gurus than more shishya. Everybody wants to become somebody's guru. That is not the spirituality. So be very cautious about all this thing. Sabko respect all. There are great saints and sages, no question about them. See their spirituality, see the divinity in them. Don't get attached to their personality. If you get attached to the personality of the guru, you'll start worshipping the personality of the guru and forget the spirituality. And there's a lot of people just running blindly after these gurus because whatever the reason might be, that's okay. That's a good beginning. Run blindly. But even if you run blindly, the purpose is to open your eyes and see the truth, not just to keep running after somebody, after anybody. It's like that. The point is to recognize the adhyatma. So when we recognize the sthiti of the Guru Tattva, Dhyana mulam guror murti, mantra mulam guror vakyam, puja mulam guror padam, moksha mulam guror krupa. This is all an internal connection. It is an internal connection with the state of great saints, great sages. इसको अध्यात्म के साथ connection है, कोई personality के साथ connection नहीं है. Personality is a beginning. It's a good place to begin. It is not the end. And then with that, भगवान की उपासना. भगवान की जो उपासना है, वो भगवान गुरुओं से पर है. God is God. There is no equal to the one Brahma Tattva. पर ब्रह्म तत्व वो एक ही है. It's not two. Or that is beyond Maya always. So that पर ब्रह्म तत्व जिसको हम इष्ट भक्ति कहते हैं, उनके साथ बंधन रखना. ये सब शास्त्रों का सारांश है. સર્વશાસ્ત્રોનો સાર એ જ છે કે ભગવાન અને ભગવાનના સંત એ કલ્યાણકારી. So, इनके साथ जितना attachment, the attachment towards Paramatma, towards Bhagwan, what that will do, that will bring the mind above the Vishuddhi Chakra into the Agnya Chakra. It will to evolve the mind further into that state where duality begins to end. And that is Shubha Shubha Parityagi. वो इसका transition point है. The Vishuddhi Chakra and the Agnya Chakra, it's a massive transition. Big, huge transition. Well, there's no transition like that. Because this is where your Shuddha Sattva Gun ends. The Vishuddhi Chakra, when fully opened, it is Shuddha Sattva Maya. And once it opens completely, it is a doorway opens where the akhanda chintan on Paramatma can happen. With Paramatma, जिसको हम अनन्य चिंतन कहते हैं. Bhagavad Gita, look at the chapter 12 in the Gita. In chapter 12 in the Gita, भगवान क्या कहते हैं? कि मयि आवेश मनोए माम नित्य युक्ता उपासते. Maya Avesha. Avesh means like a rapid entrance into the Swarupa Paramatma. That is the transition from Vishuddhi Chakra to Agnya Chakra. It is a transition. And in that Avesh, Mai Avesha Mano Emam, Man ka Manovritti, he's talking about mind. Bring the mind to enter into me. What is our mind entering into underneath Agnya Chakra and underneath Vishuddhi Chakra and all that? It is entering into all this Rag, Dvesh, Aham, Mamatva. Somebody did this to me and I did this to them, and this goes back and forth. I like this thing, I don't like this thing, I like this person, it's too cold, it's too hot, it's too this. It just goes on. Isme ananta sansar ka bandhan hai. But when we say no, we want out of all these bondages. Bahut ho gaya. कोई किसी का नहीं है, छोड़ दो सब बात. Do the duty, Karma Yoga, chapter 3 of the Gita. Do every duty with love, affection, care, sensitivity. But जो ज्ञानी है, जिसको आत्माराम कहते हैं, in गुणातीतानंद स्वामी बातों, this is called आत्माराम. वो जो आत्माराम की जो बात है, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. I was just reading that the other day. It's very, very interesting. Once you are in that state that I am the Brahman, I am the Atma, the poverty of begging in this sansar goes away. One doesn't remain as a beggar in this sansar. One remains a lion in this sansar. Isme itna farak hai. Most of the people are begging in this sansar with each other and trapped. Jivas are trapped with Jivatma and pulling against each other. Everywhere. The whole Jiv Srishti. Animals, plants, everybody. A to Z. All the human beings. Isko kya kehte hai? Isko संसार में माया को पराधीन है. See, there's पराधीन, स्वाधीन. एक सत्य बात है. Paradhin means what? You are dependent and crushed by all this reality outside. और जब भगवान शंकर और देवी पार्वती के शरण में जाते हैं, किसी की भी ताकत नहीं है कि हमारा कुछ और कर सकते. कोई किसी की भी ताकत नहीं है. इसका मीनिंग, इसका पॉइंट क्या है? तो वो भगवती, वो कुंडलिनी शक्ति है, वो दिव्य पराशक्ति है. She blesses and removes keeps all of the obstruction away and opens a doorway into the into Agnya Sahasrara Chakra. And one remains powerfully hidden. In fact, all of those people that were causing obstruction or whatever they were doing, they are kept away. Their situation changes. Everything changes. And the individual is able to continue the path towards moksha. And also, one can live in this world with Shubha. If one doesn't want moksha, one can live in this world without agitation, without problems. A protection is given. The difficulties go away with this, in time with this mantra sadhana, with Bhagavati ka ashray. That is how that happens. Otherwise, it is a very, very serious problem which we cannot understand. Can you imagine the Jivatma going into an animal body? How terrible is that? It's a punishment. It's a massive punishment. And then that happens as soon as the Kundalini dips below. It goes below Buladhar Chakra. You know, sometimes when we become angry and really, the old sanskars, when we were in animal body, those things become awakened also. ये इतनी विचित्र बात है सब. That's why Patanjali Maharishi said, yogas chitta vritti nirodha. चित्त वृत्ति का निरोध कीजिए. जैसे काम, क्रोध, लोभ, these attachments, this rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva. The more we maintain that, the more we are activating all of those sanskaras from the animal bodies also. I don't know if you've ever seen the picture of a human body. You know, sometimes they show, this is, I think in the Buddhist tradition, some other, I have to find it actually, but they will show like by the legs and the feet, they will show animals in that. Because what it means is that we have evolved out of the animal into the human. But human is also an animal. Most human beings are acting just like animal, even worse than animal. You know, so because of that, we have to be careful. This is why ये भगवान का जो सत्संग है, सब शास्त्रों का संग है, सब सद्विचार, why this is necessary. Otherwise, the jivatma, before you know it, this body will go. Think of it this way. How much time do we spend in our life thinking about what will happen after we die? Where we will go? What will happen after that? ये जो विचार है, to maintain that understanding is a very, very significant evolution. Once we start to meditate on that, oh my God, first of all, this body can go anytime. What is going to happen to this jivatma once? Does it want to go into the birds and into the animal kingdom and the plant kingdom? And does it want to go into our current families? Think about our current families. Do we want to become children of our grandchildren? Do we want to become a pet in our grandchildren's house? Do we want to become a bug or an insect in somebody's house? Think about that. How crazy that is. Or do we want to become a devta? Do lots of punya, you go into the Swarga Loka. Yes. Or what do we want? How many people have any understanding of this? They're just living this life and dying one day. That's all. इसीलिए बड़े बड़े संत, महान आत्मा भगवान की कृपा से, इच्छा से यहाँ आते हैं, ये सब जगाने के लिए. Otherwise, the jivatma is just absolutely infinitely trapped. Not just for finite time, infinite time. इसी के लिए भगवान स्वामीनारायण क्या कहते हैं? माया अनादि है. Even Shankaracharya ji said Maya is beginningless. ऐसी अलौकिक बात है. इसीलिए इसका सारांश क्या है? एक ही बात में है. किसी के साथ राग द्वेष नहीं रखना. Whatever karma somebody has done, in fact, in Shikshapatri, Sajanand Swami Maharaj, he said, wish good for them. Wish good for them. So you disconnect your karma with them. You don't want a connection with all those people who have done the harmful thing. Otherwise, it is called, इसको शत्रु भाव कहते हैं. And that शत्रु भाव continues lifetime after lifetime. There's actually in the Durga Saptashati, it's called Shap Nash Mantra. वो जो मंत्र है ना, वो है it's something like Reem Shreem Kleem Shreem Kreem Kram Kreem Shapanashanugraham Kuru Kuru Swaha. इसको शाप नाश मंत्र कहते हैं. They do that actually before doing the Durga Saptashati. And then there's also another stotra that is a stotra about Vishwamitra and Vishishta Muni. What had happened historically, Vishishta Muni and Vishwamitra, because of the Vishwamitra was, before he became Vishwamitra, he was doing his sadhana through ahankar, and because of that, there was a disturbance in the whole Brahmand because of the two of them. So that Durga Saptashati ke special mantra hai that actually destroys all of these attachments completely all the way around. इसीलिए जो दुर्गा सप्तशती का जो हवन है, that is necessary to do to get rid of all this thing. The point is that these attachments are very, very deep inside, and to blow them away, one has to have that understanding. Do the sadhana, do Om Aim Rim Klim Chamandai Viche sadhana, very, very good. And from inside, get rid of all these people from the mind. Throw them out. Just wish well for them and throw them out. Throw it just like trash, just throw it all out. Not that they're trash or anything like that, not in terms of dvesh bhav, but we don't want to hold these images inside the mind. In Vachanamrita, let me close with this today. महाराज के जीवन में क्या हुआ था? There's a lot of incidences like this. There is Shriji Maharaj, Bhagwan Swaminarayan. He has mentioned many times, because he was in the satsang in Gujarat at that time traveling. He said, I am not keeping any human being in my mind. जो भगवान के भक्त है उनका महिमा समझता हूँ, fine. But he doesn't want to keep any form of this sansar inside the mind. He said કે જો in Gujarati he said કે જ્યારે મનુષ્યની સ્મૃતિ થાય અને મનુષ્યની વિસ્મૃતિ થઈ જાય અને અંતરમાં આત્મા સુખે આત્માનો આનંદ છે એની અંદર રહીને અમને અખંડ શાંતિ રહે છે. He's giving an example. He's talking about him because our mind gets so rapidly cluttered. It is a very powerful mechanism. It is holding the experiences of life. Yes, okay, hold them, but also recognize how to be free. Shubha Shubha Parityagi. The freedom from inside. How to achieve the freedom? Bhagwan Shankar ki bhakti, Navaran mantra, and from inside, in dhyan, completely detached from all of this. From everybody, but at the same time, love, family, interactionally, forgive those who have harmed us. Let them go. Deal with the situation practically and let them out of the mind. Otherwise, there is a karma connection with them. And that karma connection can last lifetime after lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Itni vichitra baat hai. Don't ask how crazy this is. There are so many stories, incidences, documented evidences of this thing. इस बहुत केयरफुल रहना चाहिए इसमें it is not worth getting damaging one's multiple lifetime. The thing is we don't know all of this. ये सब ऋषि परंपरा have discovered all these things. We experience in our life some level. Somebody said something to us, some situation, some difficult situation we go through, and then we go through that, we experience it, but we don't know the long-term effect of that. Right? So इसके सारांश इतना ही है, भगवान के साथ पराभक्ति में जोड़ जाओ, किसी के साथ राग द्वेष नहीं रखना. Not to mention not to keep rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva at all, because that will harm us. It is a harm to us. Those people are already doing whatever they're doing. That is between God and them. Wish well for them and let them go. Let them go on their path. The one, and Sachin is speaking for himself. I'm not telling anybody anything here. This is very simple actually to understand. When we recognize the need to let everybody go on their path, each person is on their journey. We interact with them as needed in the right way in this sansar, that's fine. But beyond that, सबके साथ दिव्य संबंध रखना, ये तो टॉप मोस्ट बात है. दिव्य संबंध में क्या है? सब में भगवान है, बस. हरिओम. किसी के साथ राग द्वेष अहम ममत्व है ही नहीं. So then all that thing goes away. भगवान सर्व का कल्याण कीजिए. भगवान सर्वनु भलु करो. Yogi Ji Maharaj used to say this. So many saints, that feeling, may God bless all. All, the statement is not may God bless only people in the United States. We say God bless America, right? How many? We say God bless America, Bharat mera desh. ये सब अज्ञान है. This is all maha अज्ञान, ignorance. ये सब माया का भाव है सब. There's nothing like Bharat or America or US or Canada or Antarctica. ये सब, these things, we have created all this thing. In reality, it doesn't have anything like that. So we can say God bless everybody. जीव प्राणी मात्र का कल्याण हो जाए. That is the Vedanta. The nationalism and all these things it's a poison. It's nothing but poison. And that is creating damage to everybody. That is creating wars upon wars upon wars. Right? So with that understanding, we'll stop here for today. This is very simple बात है, इसमें कोई difficult बात नहीं है. और भगवान शंकर को प्रार्थना करेंगे. The mantra pushpanjali, let's do that. And may Lord Shiva bless all of us so that we can understand these great, beautiful truths and keep moving ahead.